Let's get this funky party started.
Yeah, let's get started. Hello. Welcome to episode 255 of the Super Weapon Podcast, most overpowered podcast on the internet. It's your boy, Dearest Artist, and as always, I got my co-host DC here with me today.
What's going on, guys? It's your favorite misfit.
Happy New Year.
And before we get into this episode, before we get into the nitty gritty, all right, I want to give a special shout out and RIP to Mr. David Rosen, aka the co-founder of Sega. We lost him on Christmas Day, man, of all days. But it was a tough one because it's Christmas. I just think about people's families. Losing someone on Christmas Day got to be tough. He was 95 years old. And if you love video games and stuff like that, he was a true trailblazer to the gaming industry, man.
Man, I'm telling you.
I'll spare you the details. I'll give you just a little bit, but just read up on this guy, man. What I found interesting was like me, he's a fellow U.S. Air Force vet.
Nice.
He served over in the Korean War, and what eventually happened was after he did his time in the military, he ended up staying over there. He was stationed in Japan, and he ended up staying over there.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of where his roots came from. He started a business. I can't remember exactly what it was, but you guys go read up on it. He started a business that wasn't necessarily into the gaming field at first, but then he saw an opportunity to kind of branch out. He started shipping stuff from the US, like pinball machines and stuff.
That's cool.
Over to Japan, from my understanding. So that kind of branched out into him. He met with another guy, and then they started Sega. So it's kind of like a little origin story there.
Yeah.
And they were looking off rip. They were looking to compete with Nintendo, like off rip. It was like, because around the time Nintendo came out, it was super big, and they were thinking like, hey, what can we make to compete with this? And they created this thing called the what was it? It was literally called the Master System over in Japan.
That's actually
but in America, when they brought it here to America, he pushed for it to get a name change, and it did like a rebrand. And this is what we known to become the Genesis console. With Sonic, all that stuff. Yeah. And so he had a good run with the Genesis, and PlayStation kind of came and kind of took the thunder out of that. But what he did have an even longer lasting legacy in is arcade games. Sega has created a lot of our favorite arcade games.
Yep.
If you look it up, man, it's incredible how many games that Sega has produced, this team has produced. This guy is like one of the pillars in the gaming space. And I encourage you guys to there's stuff on YouTube and stuff. You can Google his name. It's David Rosen, Rosen. Look him up, man. Look him up, man.
Yeah.
If you're a lover of games, man, and you want some history, and you just want some gee-whiz knowledge of a great individual, man, look him up.
Yeah, man. You're talking about a titan of the industry, man. I know a lot of younger gamers probably aren't familiar with companies outside of the big three currently, but yeah, a lot of stuff wouldn't have happened without Sega's
he pulled it up on
in
screen.
The industry. Yeah, I was actually curious what it looked like. It does kind of look like
it doesn't look too far from the Genesis too. If I had a second, I would run in my closet and grab my Genesis. I still have my Genesis console.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, when they imported it to the US, it slightly changed. Like there was 2 buttons in the front instead of on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Genesis was a very good console, man. And I'll give y'all a little lure real quick. So when this console came out, right, Super Nintendo was out. So my mom told us for Christmas, you're only getting one gaming console. I'm not getting both. My brother wanted the Genesis, which, by the way, one of the main marketing points of the Genesis was Nintendo at the time was kind of like marketed as a kids console. The whole thing with the Sega Genesis and what he wanted to do was to market it towards teenagers and up.
Yeah.
So that was a whole thing with the Sega, and then that kind of bleeds over to my story. My brother, he wanted a Genesis. I wanted a Super Nintendo. Was it Super Nintendo? Yeah, it was Super Nintendo at the time. So I wanted a Super Nintendo. Long story short, we ended up with the Genesis because my brother's a jerk. And to this day, I still hate him about that. But eventually, well, no, I never did get the Super Nintendo. I'm sad about that. But because they had the good Street Fighter with all the buttons.
Yeah,
people
Street
remember
Fighter 2,
that.
I believe Street Fighter 2 came out on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, so that's just a little bit of lore. But yeah, it was more, it was aimed at teenagers and up. So the games were a little more, because at the time, it was all about the beat 'em ups, like Golden Axe, Streets of Rage. It was a few others that was deemed mature, a little more mature.
And they even tried with Sonic too. To have a mascot. Like at the time, Nintendo's it still is Mario. And it's funny just kind of seeing how you still have these two iconic characters still making games today. And I mean, they're incredibly popular in film as well right now. Like Sonic has 2 movies out, working on a 3rd film, and I believe the 2nd Super Mario movie comes out this year as well, which did pretty well in box office. So I mean, I don't really look at them like competing as much anymore, obviously, because Sega's no longer in the console business. They're actually trying to make a slight comeback, developing some games now, but this is just cool to see, man. Like, yeah, just like you said, like, he lived a full life. 95 that's actually pretty incredible to make it that far, man. I hope we're blessed to be here that long. But for all of our younger gamers, you guys should look up some of the history of where the industry started to where it is now. Because I promise you, there's some crazy stories about how things landed the way they did. It's pretty cool to see. So this is fire. RP, man, to that guy.
I got a question though before we move on. Some trivia for the chat as well. Do you guys remember Sega's tagline? Don't cheat. Do not look on Google. Chat, if you look on Google, I'm gonna find you.
I'm gonna look, but I'm not gonna say it because I'm curious now.
It was Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
That's what it was. What Nintendo? Oh my god.
Yeah, I said it wrong. Nintendo.
Yes, that's what it was.
Whoever was on their marketing team, fire that man.
Oh man, bro.
I ain't gonna lie. That sounds like some shit I say.
That's hard.
And then it was y'all remember the guy? You could look up. Oh my god, look this commercial up. The Sega commercials, because at the end of every Sega commercial, it was either that or a guy yelling Sega.
Sega.
No, it wasn't that nice. It was a guy literally screaming like Sega. Like he was screaming.
Man.
Yeah, Genesis had a nice run, man. It was a great console. It had some good games on it too, and it's kind of like what's the word? For Dreamcast. Dreamcast had a
Dreamcast was
a little ahead of its time.
The greatest system of all time, bro.
Yeah,
it's up there. It's my favorite system of all time. Close behind.
Weenie know what I'm talking about. Weenie in the chat knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was loud. He was a loud brother. But yeah, that's just a little. We had to start off. It's only right that we started off the pod with that.
It's always good to look back on where we've been versus where we are now, man. It's important. And I mean, even we have some younger people in chat right now, like Sergey. He says I'm about 2 times younger than the Sega, which is crazy to say out loud because I remember playing it when I was a kid. So you're kind of making me feel a little old here. But
it's okay, Sergey.
Yeah, it's okay, man.
That's what we're here for. You stay young forever, brother.
It's and there will be a time when our nieces and nephews will probably look back on PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4 as old consoles, and history's cool, man. it's always good to look back, especially as we are moving forward into 2026. As is tradition for those of you who are longtime listeners, or if you're new here, me and DC usually we like to start the year off with some fun predictions for the industry. You know, as we kind of look forward into what we think this year is going to be about in terms of gaming. And, you know, we're now 6 years removed from COVID and 6 years into the current generation of gaming. And I know that, you know, a lot of people have been talking about the next gen consoles, and we've heard some rumblings here and there, but, you know, we try to throw some fun predictions out just to get the community talking, just hear what you guys think. What are your favorite predictions and things you might be excited for as far as games this year? And I figured we could start off with the elephant in the room, if you will, because we've been getting a lot of alleged rumors and leaks for this particular title, and that's Grand Theft Auto 6. My prediction for this is I think this game is coming out this year. I know there've been some rumblings about it, you know, from two very reputable sources. I'll say that the game is content complete versus that it's not. And I'm going to say it, I don't think GTA 6 gets delayed out of the year. I think this game...
You say out of the year.
Yeah, I don't think it gets...
But do you think it gets delayed?
No.
Even if it's, what, a month?
I don't think so. I think Rockstar knows, and Take-Two knows, that this is this is the most important game that they've worked on up to this point. And... You know, I'm not going to get into spoilers. Maybe we'll save that for next week if DC wants to. We can talk about some of the actual details of those spoilers, but I'm going to hold off because I don't want to ruin anything for anybody. But I think this game is going to be seismic to the point that I don't see any other AAA game releasing like 2 weeks before or after it, honestly. I just don't see it. And if it gets bounced... You know, obviously other games aren't going to want to do that. Other studios aren't going to move at last minute. I think it's going to stick that November release date, and it's going to completely take over the entire planet. That's just my prediction. I don't have any basis on it. I think GTA 6 is going to release this year. I think it's going to outsell everything like that could possibly. The only thing I think will come close to even relative numbers to GTA is probably Call of Duty. That's about it that I can think of that's coming out this year. But yeah, that's my prediction, man. I don't think this game drops any later than November. I think it's going to get 10s across the board. I mean, just from the leaks that I've read, and, you know, I've talked about this before. Like, I think Rockstar is just one of one in the industry. They're just one of those studios that when they drop, everybody pays attention. They're always pushing things forward in the industry in terms of like gameplay mechanics, open world stuff. And, you know, I was on the fence about it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm just gonna buy it. I don't know, man. I was gonna wait. I don't know if I want to wait 12 to 18 months to play this. I think I'm just gonna buy it on PlayStation. I don't know. What do you think? How you feeling about it? Do you think it gets pushed?
See, usually I'm the king of predictions. They call me KP around here.
You are actually really good with your predictions.
But to be honest with you, I don't know how to call this one. There's some kind of eternal struggle that is going on within Rockstar. I know this for a fact.
Yeah.
I don't know how I know this for a fact, but I just feel like strongly in my gut.
There definitely is, because those workers got fired. Employees were fired this week. Like I said, if you guys are interested,
and you got to think what that do with to the morale, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got people getting fired. Their union, quote unquote, allegedly, they're union busting. They won't let them form a union. So there's a lot of inner workings and wild stuff that's going on within Rockstar as a studio and as a company. And it makes me wonder, will that affect when this game comes out, right? I'm with you. I'm on board with you on this one. I feel like it does come out this year. And if it do come out, it may be a couple of fixes along the way.
Yeah.
But I feel like they definitely have to get this game out this year. because a whole bunch of things that's going on in the background as far as just like, you have investor calls and all this other stuff that's going on, and they are looking at them like, yo, what is going on over there? We spent how much money have you guys spent on this? People top brass are going to start to want to see a return in investment to a point where, yes, we do get this game next year. And if it does have problems, it's going to be one of those things where, okay, well, guys, we just have to fix it along the way.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I do not want to see that from Rockstar, because we've seen that from so many other people. I don't want to see that from Rockstar. Usually Rockstar is pretty solid at dropping a complete game, even though GTA 5, people forgot when they dropped online was a disaster for the first month.
It was.
But it was only because I guess they didn't expect it to be so big. And so they should have. I don't know how they didn't expect people not to want to play GTA Online, but for the first month, it was a disaster. Like, people couldn't get on. So I think that's something that they're going to try to avoid at all costs with GTA 6, because they say it hasn't been confirmed yet, but they're possibly going to do like the online mode is going to release like a month or two after the main game. So we'll see. I'm with you, man. I think it comes out next year. I think they stick to the date.
Yeah, it just makes sense. And to piggyback off of what you were saying too, I was reading that I think it's Q3. Their Q3 fiscal earnings ends in March of 27. So if it does get delayed, I don't see it getting delayed past that, because then like you said, at that point, they're going to want to report good earnings that, for that quarter, especially if it comes out around that. Fall is a big time of year for the game industry just in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the game's been in development about 8 years at this point, because Red Dead 2 came out in 2018, which is crazy to even say that out loud. But I have nothing but high expectations for this game, and I don't usually do that to myself, but I usually try to stay out of the GTA conversation, but I really do think this game is going to be monumental in just like all the best ways. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised by Red Dead 2, somebody who'd never played Red Dead Redemption 1, and just like the technical, and not even talking about just like graphically, but just the amount of detail that went into that game, it just blew my mind. And I don't see anything short of them doing that over again. I mean, just like you said, the amount of money that they've reportedly spent developing this game, allegedly $1 billion, close to $1 billion. And plus, like I said, if you want to read the leaks, it makes sense. That's all I'm gonna say. If half of that is true, it's definite. I can see why they spent the amount of money they did developing it. So, yeah, that's my first one, man. I just have a feeling that this is it's gonna come out this year at some point. It just has to, in my opinion, and it's gonna dominate the conversation for the rest of the year. And it's gonna win Game of the Year at Game Awards next year. So people are gonna be mad about it. Just accept it. It's gonna happen. So
I don't understand why though.
It's gonna win a bunch of awards.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah, it's gonna win a bunch of awards.
But I mean, with these award shows, it always leaves somebody's going to be upset.
Yeah,
somebody's going to be
out.
Upset.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, people didn't think Expo 33 was going to sweep. I've been calling it since forever, and it did.
Yeah, it swept. It did great. So, but yeah, that's
and it deserved. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Well deserved. So that's your prediction. I got a steamy one to get the room hot and spicy. I think that as much shit talking as this game gets in the in the internet space, I think this game is going to drop.
Okay.
And I think people are going to play it, and they're going to shut their mouths, and they're going to enjoy it. That was my dramatic pause.
I was like, what is it? Okay.
What game are you talking about, asshole? No, Marathon.
Ooh.
I think people are just so negative just for no reason. And trust me, this comes from a guy I got my questions about Marathon. I'm not all the way on board, but I will say this. The improvements that I've seen in the game,
fair.
I like what I see. Okay. Yeah. I think I can honestly say, to me, things are looking a little bit better with this game compared to when they first did the alpha, beta,
Yeah,
whatever.
the beta, yeah.
It looked like shit. Like I was like, "What is this?" But I gave it grace because, it was a beta, right? So I'm like, I'm not gonna be too hard on this game, but it kinda left a lot to the imagination, right? So online, like on Twitter and Reddit and everywhere else, they've been dropping clips, right? And it looks better. It looked a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
The gameplay looks a little bit better. It reminds me, it does have that Destiny feel, but in an extraction shooter, I still wouldn't go for the kind of graphics that they're going for. It's kind of weird, like the look,
Yeah.
but this game has an advantage to learn from other games before it actually drop. This game could learn from the most famous extraction shooter of right now, which is Arc Raiders, right?
Yeah.
If you take the things that from Arc Raiders and learn from it and implement it into your game, I don't know how late it is because they might be into deep in development.
Yeah, I think it comes out. Let me see when it comes out.
It comes out in March. They
I was
said
about to
they're
say,
sticking
yeah.
to March.
Yeah.
They said we're not delaying. We are dedicated to bringing this game out in March. And as a dev, I don't know how much they could tweak or change within these next 3 months from learning from like a Arc Raider, like learning specific things and what people want and what they don't want as far as PvP. That's another thing I gotta talk about real quick. Hey, it's an extraction shooter, y'all. Y'all gonna have to deal with PvP, unfortunately. But anyway, that's a side topic. But Marathon has a chance to adjust. And am I saying this is going to be the greatest game of all time? No. Is it going to be the greatest extraction shooter? Probably not. But I think this game gets a little bit more love than all the hate it receives online. I think people
Yeah.
are going to go into it cautiously, but if they do things right, I don't know. I think Marathon will be in a few conversations. That's one of my predictions. I think it'll be up there. It'll be in some talks.
Man, I don't disagree with you. I know people are expecting another Concord situation with this game. And I do want to give Bungie some time and grace, just like you. We've grew up with the studio, and for everything they did with Halo and just the industry in general, man. And even Destiny. I feel like they took a hard look at the game, especially with the amount of feedback they got last year, because it wasn't great. I played the beta. I didn't really have a good time, and I think it's going to find its niche. Just like you said, like I'm kind of iffy on extraction shooters right now. Anyway, I think they're just kind of like the hot fun thing to do right now, and I think it'll do better trying to find its own lane. Just like you mentioned, how Arc Raiders did versus Tarkov. If they can figure out a way to make its own flavor for the genre, and I feel like they can. I mean, if anything, the gunplay is going to be great. Bungie has always made really nice, like, feel good shooting games, and I honestly do want it to succeed because I'm afraid of what's going to happen if it doesn't. They're going to continue to probably get absorbed into Sony like they have been already. And with the alleged rumors of Destiny 3's early development, I feel like they could use a win in this situation.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of people probably aren't going to want to hear this, but PlayStation's been kind of fucking quiet this entire generation. You know what I mean? Like, they haven't really released a lot of first party titles
outside of their typical or their usual,
I mean, even then, I want to know what Sony Santa Monica's up to. Naughty Dog, we know what the game they're developing, but they already canceled the multiplayer Last of Us, and we probably won't see, I forget what the name of the new game they're working on, but we probably won't see that anytime soon. Probably like next year, maybe.
That was a good call. We didn't need a multiplayer Last of Us. We didn't need that.
I honestly, man, if you know what, if you would have,
I
if
know you're
you,
gonna say Uncharted multiplayer. Is that what you're gonna
it
say?
was a good time, man. If you've never played it, I don't know if the servers are still active. I wouldn't have been mad at it. You know, I think that Last of Us is a great franchise to, if they decide to revisit the franchise, you know, I would hope that they would expand past Ellie's story at this point. I feel like they've wrapped up Ellie's story, you know, after 2. I would love to see
Yeah.
what else is going on in that world, because the world itself is actually pretty interesting.
And you're right, but my thing is, people have such a hard time
Interstellar, thank you,
moving
Lee.
on.
Yeah.
People have such a hard time moving on, and then when it comes to these developers and stuff, they kind of stick to what's going to make them money because,
Right.
like we've explained before, at the end of the day, they have to earn. That's what I kind of love about indie games because they can have a little more leeway in that department of
Yeah.
creativity. But yeah, I'm with you. Like that world which needs to be explored. That world needs to be explored, whether it's in a video game or a TV show. I would love to see what else goes on in that world of theirs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I mean, because
I
for
definitely agree with that.
a lot of the game, you're kind of in the Midwest to the, you know, Northwest of the country. You know, I would want to know what's going on the east side of the, you know, the East Coast, or hell, you know, take us to Canada, or, you know, maybe Europe or something. I
Well,
would
see,
love to see
you
that.
know, one zombie show did that, and we got burnt out on it. So it's a very
No,
slippery slope. Okay,
to be fair, Walking
we're talking
Dead,
about Walking Dead.
yeah, Walking
Yeah,
Dead lost me after, spoilers. It's been like 10 years at this point. After
you're not
Glenn
gonna watch
died,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's what really did it for me. I knew it was gonna happen, but I think that scene was just so brutal and so well done that it turned me off from the show. And I think that happened to a lot of people, you know.
I think
But
that's the sign of a good show.
and I think that's great. Yeah, I think it was a great part of the great time in the show. And aren't the other series doing pretty okay? As far as I'm aware, they're still
Well,
running, or are they canceled, or
I think one got cut.
oh, okay, that's unfortunate.
No, it might have been the longest running one. Fear of the Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
Which started off. I don't care what anybody says. All right, Fear of the Walking Dead started off great. It had a lot of potential. Then I think after season 2, it just turned to dog shit. Like it
You
just.
know what's so funny? It's the opposite for me. I couldn't bring myself to really care about the characters in the first few episodes, and maybe I need to go back and try it again. You know, because you and our friend Era, you know, talked about the show a lot when it was on. And you guys liked it a lot. I kind of want to go back and try to watch it, but I don't know, man. Zombies. I feel like zombies have they hit their peak in the mid
Mhm.
2000s, and then they kind of waned off, and then they're starting to kind of come back now, especially with 28 years later, and a few other a few other movies and shows and stuff are doing pretty well. So it seems like zombies are back in style, if you will, you know. But maybe I'll go back and watch it. But yeah, I don't know. Like I think that, you know, to go back to Sony and stuff, like, you know, Marathon, I hope that it really does pan out okay for them. If they find like a niche community and they can support it, sure. You know, will I buy it? Probably not. You know, extraction shooters are hard for me to get into. Like, I love Arc Raiders, it's fun, but I don't see myself playing it for extended periods of time. You know what I mean? Like, it's a cool game. I think maybe like the PvP element is something I want to get more into for Arc Raiders. You know, and I think that'll be something that just kind of does it for me. But
If you,
I like that prediction.
I think a little switching up.
Yeah.
Like we talked about off like pre-pod, we were talking about
Yeah.
just not being stuck in one genre of gaming.
Yeah.
Like when I'm not gaming with you guys, I don't touch shooters at all. So it kind of
Yeah.
builds my,
Same.
like when we play together, you know,
You build up your tolerance
okay,
a little
well,
bit.
yeah. Because I'm not that mad when I play because I'm not playing all the time to
No,
get
for sure.
mad, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Nah,
it's
I
like
get
when I'm
it.
playing with the homies, I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
But once I turn that shit off, I'm playing Final Fantasy. I started back playing Expo.
Nice.
I've been inspired to finish it. So I've been playing, like, I have to play different types of games. Arc Raiders, I'm already ready for the expedition, the next one, so I kind of weaned off that a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I kind of just been in there. I was just in there randomly just helping people. Like, yo, you
Nah,
need to
that's
find
fair.
something, I'll help you find it, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
see
But then
that kind of stuff I think would be is where I'm more interested in arc raiders or extraction shooters in general. You know, the questing and
mhm.
stuff is cool. Fighting the arcs is fun. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad the game's not a PvE game like it was originally supposed to be, because I think the game,
And they're getting smarter.
yeah, the AI is
I
getting
can't
smarter.
prove this. I cannot fucking prove this yet. But those developers are doing a hell divers. Like they're
Yeah,
messing with the AI and stuff. And I can't prove it yet
it's
because
learning.
these fuckers are getting smarter. I
Yeah,
swear to God they are. But
that's awesome.
yeah, it's only thing that I don't like and I've been kind of apprehensive about going crazy in Arc Raiders is because like once I go crazy in PvP, I kind of want to go back to not being bothered.
You wouldn't have to play. You would have to not play the game for a while, probably. For
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I be
it.
wanting to kill people so bad, but
Yeah.
once you get in that what I like to call GTA bad sport lobby, like I've never heard of people coming back out of that. So that's why I've been kind of I was
Yeah.
gonna buy Arc Raiders again on my PC and just be a shit bag.
Oh, that's actually pretty smart.
I
Yeah,
was gonna
separate
have
your
my fucking
lobbies.
shit bag account, then I was gonna have my PVE account.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I like
yeah,
that.
man,
That's actually pretty smart.
for
Uh,
sure.
Bellcross to and before we move on, just for Walking Dead's sake, he says I never understood how people got upset after a character death when it went exactly how it was going to go.
But it was
I can,
so brutal.
yeah.
Actually seeing it and reading it is two different
I was
things.
gonna say I think I can speak on it for like me. I think the problem I had with Walking Dead after that is I felt like the show peaked at that moment. You know, it just it didn't for me
So it wasn't
reach.
necessarily the moment.
No, I
It wasn't
wasn't.
him dying. It was the actual just show
Yeah,
as a whole.
it just it felt like it hit that top of the hill for the on the roller coaster, and it just, you know, between the writing and some of the character development, it just kind of lost it for me. It wasn't necessarily that Glenn died. You know, I think that once again that was,
True, because the saviors and all that shit was drawn out. I don't think people
yeah.
remember if you kept watching it like I did, the savior shit was drawn out for a long
Yeah,
time.
it just kind of felt like the formula for the show at that point was kind of set in, right? You know, you find a settlement, you know, you take
Defend the settlement.
essentially take over, defend said settlement. You have the big bad comes in, destroys said settlement. We have to move on, and so on and so on and so on. You know, and it didn't really feel. I don't know.
Like it was progressing.
It didn't. I didn't feel the progression,
There
and
was no world building or story like character
yeah, I
development
didn't really
or
feel like the story was moving in a direction I was interested in continuing to watch. You know, and it's not like born out of hate or none of that silly stuff, man. I mean, you got to think like Walking Dead at that point was what 8 seasons in. You know,
and weenie.
people had been watching it for almost a decade. Like it was just.
Yeah, it was burning the wick on both ends at
Yeah,
one point.
pretty much. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah.
Hey,
So
Weenie, you are our mod, and you act like
it
this.
made
What
me
are we
want to
supposed
look
to
at the
do?
flowers.
What are we supposed to do when our mod acts like this? Like, I don't even know. I don't even know.
Incredible.
Weenie, this is your show. This is your show now,
I
man.
love that Whitney. Holy cow, man. That's incredible.
Yo, and that was like, but we joke about it, but moments like that is what made the show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Because it was like in real life, like, what would you do? Would you let this little psychopath grow up and become Negan?
Yeah, essentially.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or do you just take her out now? Just put her out of her misery? Because Shorty
Yeah.
was crazy.
I love Walking Dead, man, but it's sad. But yeah, that's
I love it for all the wrong
not
reasons.
to-
I'm the one who watched it all. Like,
yeah.
only thing I didn't watch was Daryl's show, his spinoff.
Oh, he's in like
I was
France
okay
or
with
something,
that,
right?
bro. Yeah, I was okay with the dirty biker in France. I was cool with that.
Oh,
Like, how did your
nice.
bike get over here, bro? I don't know.
It is thunderstorming here now. I can hear it. If once again, like DC said, if we just happen to
Oh
go
no,
offline,
you got the weaker power. No. Hey guys,
hopefully-
it's
So,
gonna be rough. For
if
us.
we disappear, if I disappear, just know I'll be back as soon as possible. Okay, so
yeah, we'll just stick a fork in it. But what is your next prediction? Can we get it before the power go off?
yeah, okay. This next one I feel like is more unlikely than it is to actually happen. I
I
will
know.
say.
Can I guess it? Can I
You
guess
can
it?
guess, but you're not going to be able to. Go ahead. What you think it is?
Really?
Yeah. What do you think it's relating to? Let me ask you that.
The Steam machine?
Nope. Incorrect.
Okay, I'll let you have it. Go ahead.
I think Sony is going to attempt to buy From Software. And I think they're going to buy From Software this year. That is my, Sony's been real quiet on that. We haven't really heard a lot in
Oh,
terms
that's a
of
good
big
prediction.
acquisitions, and I feel like
Ooh,
From
it makes
Software,
sense though.
it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, they did allegedly tried this before, right? But we know one thing about studios: they don't just give up on, when you really want something, you don't just give up on it. But they've had a great relationship with Sony for years now, and they've released a lot of good projects together. And I think it just makes a lot of, Sony's really good about buying studios that just makes great sense for them. And I feel like this one makes sense. Now, does From Software / Kadokawa need to be bought? No, they're doing just fine on their own. But, everybody got a price, as they say. And I could foresee this being a pretty big setup. Now, I will say this for all of my Souls fans out there. I'm saying this for y'all. If they buy it, just give the people what they want. Give them their Bloodborne remaster. Give them a sequel. Just give them something Bloodborne related this year. Because people have been clamoring and just fiending for a remake, sequel, something. But I think that's going to be the big story of the year, Sony buying From Software. That's just a random shot
Why
in
do
the
you
dark.
think they're not doing it though? Like,
I don't know.
as far as like Bloodborne goes,
I don't know.
because I know that community. I've been to that side of the community on the internet, and it
Yeah.
seems like it's something very popular and something that they want so
People
bad.
love Bloodborne, man. It's
You would think they would work on it, right? You think that would be
yeah.
a priority for
But I
them to
think
get
from
that
what I
out.
understand, I think Sony owns the IP rights to this. Let me see. I'm pretty sure they own the IP rights to Bloodborne. Cause I mean they remade yeah, they own the IP. Yep. So yeah, so it's Sony. It's not From Software. It's 100% Sony, just not for whatever reason. Like maybe we'll get a surprise announcement this year, but I think Sony's gonna make a play either for From Software or another marquee studio that they've worked well together with. They're really big on partnerships, and that's something that I appreciate about Sony. The only one that didn't really make sense to me was Bungie, but I feel like the From Software just kind of makes sense. Do I think they make Elden Ring 2 exclusive? No, because I do think we'll get an Elden Ring 2, but probably not until the next gen consoles. But that's just a shot in the dark, man. They've been trying for a while, it seems like, and eventually you take a girl out enough to dinner, eventually you end up with her. So we'll see. That's just a random shot in the dark.
That's a very good prediction. I can see that.
Yeah,
because it makes so much sense, and when you think about it. But
I think it's either them or as funny as you mentioned that Bellcross. I was thinking Square Enix, but
that would make sense too.
Yeah, but with their comments about wanting to bring their games to more consoles, because they feel like they effed up with Final Fantasy VII Remake series, because those games didn't sell super well. 16 didn't sell super well for them that they wanted to. Didn't hit those numbers. Maybe they're looking to stay independent and kind of pull a Capcom. But yeah, I can.
And that's why exclusives are fading away because they want to make more money. People don't understand that. Well, smart people do. The console war people who are a little, not the brightest bulbs in the goddamn cabinet, but these exclusives are going away because they need to make more money. And how do you make more money, guys? Spread the butter by putting it on more consoles and stuff.
Put it everywhere you can, man. But yeah, that's my just random shot in the dark. I think we'll get another acquisition, at least some form of acquisition from them this year.
Ooh, okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I just got
yeah. Let me know what you think, chat. If you guys like that, if you for our listeners, do you want Bloodborne back, guys? For our Bloodborne listeners and people who love this series. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and maybe one day I'll go play it myself. But I still have to finish Elden Ring, which I haven't done.
I have a prediction, but I don't know if I want to make it a prediction.
Ooh, you're afraid you're gonna put it out like a curse in the world is gonna come true?
No, not that. It's just it's the timing, and I'll explain it. Okay,
Okay,
so
sure.
I think if it's not Half-Life 3, we get some kind of the Half-Life universe
Ooh,
placed inside of this beautiful Steam machine console
they have to,
when it is
right?
released.
They kind of have to. I
And
had a similar
they say it's
prediction.
supposed to release this quarter, first quarter of 2026. They didn't really say when,
Yeah,
because that could first quarter of 2026 could be now, it could be February, first couple of months, right? So that's what I was saying about the timing of it all. But
I like that.
like I said, I feel like we get a special edition console, Half-Life. You know how they
Ooh,
do
with
with
the
the
face
little,
plates. Oh, that would be
yeah.
so sick.
I feel like we get that. I feel like I said, if we don't get Half-Life 3 with it, I feel like we get Half-Life something, because these two products are like almost synonymous
Yeah,
together, right? When
true.
you think of Steam, you think of Half-Life and vice versa. So I could see them kicking off a new product this way, and also getting people who've been waiting for some new Half-Life material, whatever it is, to kind of lure them in as guaranteed customers to buy this thing,
Yeah,
because people are already, I don't understand why. I was talking to our friend David last night about this. Like, people are complaining, and like pretty much like you said, all right, you eventually going to get priced out of this hobby of ours that we love called gaming,
yep,
because it is getting expensive. And people, these prices for the Steam machine was leaked. It wasn't, I don't know where this came from. It came from somewhere across the pond, right? But somebody did the conversions and all this stuff and got the price, and it was like 1,000.
there's rumors that the price is
Was
yeah, a little over 1,000 for the lowest
Yeah,
model, I think. Yeah.
and y'all want the highest infidelity, y'all want the highest graphics, y'all want the highest frames per second, but you essentially don't want to pay for it, and it's not going to work like that.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're gonna have to stop playing in 280p, y'all.
I mean, I was going
We're
to
gonna have to
say
start paying
to be quite honest, it's more of a mid-range PC and it's an actual computer. It's not just a console.
Mhm.
Like that's what I think people are not really wrapping their heads around. You know, the average person will probably just use it like a console, but you know, it has a lot more utility than that outside of just being a
Yeah,
regular
man.
console. And I mean, once again, you know, this is something I'm gonna bring up in another prediction. People gotta remember we're in a short there's a war on RAM right now. Like there's a war that we're so short. They're running out of computer parts so bad that Nvidia is starting to manufacture, I think it's the 3070s again or
Older.
something. Yeah, they're manufacturing
Yeah.
older graphics cards because they don't
My
have
graphics
enough.
card is $1,600.
Yeah, I haven't even looked up the price of mine actually.
My
That's a
380, what is it? Yeah, I got a 380, 390, 390, I think. I
30.
can't remember. I gotta look.
See how much my
But
3090 is. That's actually a really good question.
3090, it's like 1,500. It's around like 1,500,
Yeah, on
15,
Amazon, yes,
1,600.
1,500. Yep, sitting at about 15, and it's going to keep going up.
Mm.
I mean, you know, once again,
Considering what it was like originally, what, 6, 7, something
yeah,
like
it
that?
was much less than that. It was like $500, $600 less. I mean, and these are prices that are just going to continue to rise at this point. You know, and because it's going to continue, it's going to affect other sectors in technology. I'm talking phones, TVs. Like we talked about this for cars. There's cars that use certain types of RAM. I mean,
Yeah,
smart
because
cars.
they want to put all this bullshit in these cars now.
Yeah,
You have computer in all your newer cars. Majority of them have at least 2 computers in them, especially when we're talking about the
Sergey.
Mercedes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Sergey over there with that 280p.
Yeah. I mean, it just, you know, I don't think that's really. Now, if it releases in the first quarter, I wouldn't mind that. I would be happy for that. Will I buy it day one? Probably not, but I think it's good to get it away from the fall, you know, because people are already gonna kind of be scrambling for dollars, and you know, purchasing power is at an all-time low in the US as far as consumer dollars go. So, You know, it'd be good to kind of get it away from a lot of those bigger releasing games and, you know, get some sort of install base going. So yeah, I mean, it's allegedly hitting for about what we thought it was going to. You know, if you guys go back and listen to our older episodes when we first talked about the Steam Machine, you know, that was
yeah, we sure did. Prediction Kings.
Yeah, we talked about it. It was about that, if I remember right. We were thinking like lower 4 digits, you know, upper 3 digits. So I like that, man. I like that a lot. Moving on, since we're talking about consoles, I think this year we will get a teaser for the next Xbox, but not the next PlayStation. I think we'll get some sort of, you know, whether that's it. I don't think it'll be at the January showcase. I think Xbox will do a giant reveal at some point this year, and they're going to try to get out in front of Sony, you know, even through all of these shortages. I mean, you know, you're talking about $1 trillion company here is going to spend the money anyway to get, you know, graphics cards and RAM that they're already doing. Sony stockpiled some. I did some research. Sony stockpiled a bunch of RAM last year. But my prediction is I think Xbox is going to try to launch their console next year. And whether it sells good or not, I don't fucking know. I don't.
Yeah, because you know what? Xbox been like talking like.
Yeah, I don't know.
I kind of see where you got that prediction from.
They've been chatting, man.
Talking a little spicy.
They've been real chatty lately about the next gen, man. And you know, I could see
there's always 2 steps forward, 2 steps back with them, man.
Yeah. And it's gonna be amazing to see how they convince people to want to buy this console. That's what I'm more curious about. You know, how do you convince people like me who don't have the current Xbox and people like you who do have the current Xbox to want to move forward at this point? Because if everything's an Xbox, why do I need it? You know, how are they going to convince the average consumer to purchase it?
And what is the point? Like at this point, it's like, what is the point?
That's my
Why do we need hardware if we can like play anything anywhere, right?
That's what I'm super.
It's almost like they're shooting themselves in the ass. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Their marketing or whatever, because if you're gonna be about play whatever, wherever, whenever, right? I would think they would start pushing more toward not even having hardware at all. Maybe a handheld. Like maybe we go down to a handheld.
Man.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't get Xbox. And this is coming from an Xbox guy.
Head? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like, hey, wait a minute, you son of a bitch. I heard that. I fucking heard that. Don't you dare. Anyway, you know, this is a prediction that is going to stick with me for a while because I've been watching Xbox with a super eye just focused on them because I
don't know what they're going to do. I've been thinking about it a lot too, man. Like it's kind of like my Roman Empire right now. It's like, what the fuck are you guys? How are y'all gonna convince me to purchase this, especially if it's close to 4 digits? You know, like we're thinking it's gonna be. You know, hell, if it's even if it's like $700, if it's $699, like why do I need it? You know, how are you gonna convince me to move off of playing on PC primarily to back to console? And it's not even a power thing, it's not a fidelity thing for me at this point, because I still play games on my PlayStation 5 that I have on PC. You know, like what are you going to do to convince me to purchase this? And how are they going to look at it like a victory, especially with the amount of money that they're wanting on a return on investment for a lot of their games? You know, yeah, they are releasing some games that are, I mean, I think Forza, I forget what number they just passed on selling copies, and they're releasing Avowed really soon on PlayStation 5. They're doing their games are selling well on other consoles, which is great.
That means people want them.
Yeah, that means that you make good games. You make
There's a
fun
need.
games. How are you going to convince me to purchase this? Especially, and the only way I could think of that is if they got out in front of Sony. You know, if you tell me the next Xbox, you know, the average person is going to be like, oh man, the next Xbox is more powerful than the PlayStation 5 Pro. You know, oh, I need to get that. You know, that's the only thing I can think of outside of that. Because if you launch around the same time as the PS6, you're going to get buried again.
Yeah.
You're just going to, I mean, it's just facts. You know, so that's just a prediction. I think they're going to. I
Man,
know
we
a
got
lot of
some great
people.
predictions.
Yeah, I was kind of off on it. The last time we talked about this, especially with the RAM shortages, but I think they're going to force it. I do. I think they're going to force next year. I think it's what the 25th anniversary for Xbox this year. It just all kind of lines up and makes sense. Like you're gonna want a big announcement to cap off the year, get people really excited about next year. They're already talking about Xbox 25. I don't know if you saw the logo or whatever, but it just makes sense. They've been talking a lot, like you said. They've been real chatty lately, so we'll see.
Yeah, too much goddamn chatting, if you ask me.
Just make Sarah Bond president, man. Let my boy Phil retire. It's time. Let's just call it what it is. He did great. But I think Phil Spencer is going to close out this era, and we're going to get a new head Xbox. That's my prediction. So,
I agree with that. And speaking of, man, Game Pass just dropped Final Fantasy, man, and I'm pretty much toast. I'm done. Like I could play this game all day, forever, and a day. This game
it'll
holds
be
a
worth
special.
it doing a follow up for Game Pass with you because you still have your subscription. I do want to talk to you about that, but maybe next episode we can talk about that. Because I don't.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't
Final
heard
Fantasy got me
much.
done, bro. Final Fantasy got me done.
I haven't heard much.
I literally, this is my childhood right here. I could play this game for days and not get bored. They drop. I think they're gonna drop 1 through 6. That's crazy. That's crazy. Xbox been kind of trying to win people back, man. I feel like there's been some heat in here, man. I mean, I've been playing
if the
quite a
value's
few
there,
games.
I get it, but I just can't convince myself to spend $30 a month playing, just for Game Pass. I just can't do it. I can't in good conscience convince myself to do it, man. For Ultimate.
Well, my thing is this: with anything, whether it's movie apps, Game Pass, if you feel like you're not utilizing that shit, hell yeah, get rid of it.
Yeah.
I've done it with a couple of apps. I didn't got rid of Apple TV, HBO, all types of stuff.
Yeah, I'll usually. It's funny you say that. Comes out,
we'll
rotate.
I'll get
stuff. Yeah,
yeah. If a show come back, like something on HBO, because as soon as Euphoria season 3 drop, I'm gonna have HBO again. I'm gonna go get it. Yeah. So yeah, I circulate through stuff, but Game Pass, I remember when everyone was saying they were getting rid of their Game Pass, I kind of sat in the corner like with my head down because I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to give it up just yet. But I will say this.
Yeah.
If they go up on prices again, your boy is out.
Ooh,
I'm out.
That's another good one.
I'm out. Look, man, we be crunching numbers over here when the bills hit the table, all right? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, look,
man, you got to.
You start looking at shit like, wait a minute, do I really need this Game Pass?
Yeah.
Do I really need these 84 gym memberships? Do I? Let's look at this here, fella. But it's been good to me so far. But we'll talk about it next week. I'm down. I'll do a little Game Pass review for you guys.
Game Pass check-in. Yeah, that'd be cool. So yeah, I think Xbox is gonna try to be first out the door for next gen. That's just, I think it makes
good predictions, man.
I don't think they have a choice, if I'm being honest. So.
Yeah, good prediction. We should be some CEOs in gaming, bro. I think
we
make good decisions.
Let's go. We here. Hire us, man. We love it. All right, what you got next, man? Let's do one more each, I guess. I just realized how long we've been recording, so
we'll make it. Yeah, we'll make it quick. We'll make it quick.
Holy cow, we just got here. Dang it.
We'll make it quick. Let me look at my prediction list. I think that AI will be secretly used in games and nobody will ever know. I think they will be.
Honestly,
now what they'll be used for, I haven't nailed that down yet. But I think with all the people keep saying the AI bubble is going to bust, blah blah blah. No, it's not.
No, it's not. Consolidation is just going to happen.
I'm telling you, it's not. I promise you. And I feel like the gaming industry, I feel like they don't want to upset people. So I feel like there will be things that are done in the shadows that we don't know about. And I think the devs will find a way to use it to kind of help them create. I'm hoping that it's not a thing of replacing people, but I'm hoping in good faith that this is a tool that'll be used to help instead of replace.
Yeah.
Now, am I a little optimistic and naive? Sure. I'm down to be a little naive about this. I just hope, like, I don't want to see anybody lose their jobs, first of all, because it's
Absolutely.
rough out here.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you can use a tool to improve what you're doing or make your job a little bit easier, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see that in 2026, not just in the gaming industry, but across the board as a whole. There is always good and evil, right? There's always people going to use shit for good intent with good purposes, and then there's always going to be people who just like, hey, this can save me money. Capitalism, right?
Yeah.
This can save me money. If I do this, this, and this, we can get rid of these people, blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to say I love technology. So I'm kind of with AI until it ruins people's lives. Like, I don't want to see this shit
Yeah.
replace you or anybody in chat's job. I don't want to see that. But I love tech. So it also interests me because I got these freaking glasses on that's talking to me right now. Like, shut up, Meta. Damn, I'm recording a podcast. Shut up, bitch. But yeah, man, that's one of my predictions. I think we're going to slowly see it seep into the gaming industry. And for whatever purpose, it's going to be, I don't want to say a war, but you will have a conflict of interest. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be
Yeah.
people who like, hey, I don't want to work for Ubisoft because they use this, that, and the third. We're going to have conflicts and stuff, but I think it smooths out as the years goes on, right? Like, things will start to.
I agree with you 1,000%. I'll even take it a one step further. I think we will have. There's gonna be one studio that's gonna do it. It's gonna all it takes is one that will be upfront about their use of AI and how it's
Mhm.
enhancing work instead of replacing jobs. I think we're getting to that point in this cycle of tech where you have the early adopters and people don't really, you have early technology is still kind of rough around the edges. You're not really sure the best ways to use something. And
Mhm.
then you have as adoption kind of continues, the technology kind of smooths itself out a little bit. You start to see it more and more and more commonplace. And I mean, if you don't think studios are already using it, you're naive. There's already confirmed cases of studios already using AI. I mean, hell, even there was a report I read a few weeks ago about Microsoft pushing their studios to use AI. Like they have Copilot. I use AI every day at work. I work in IT. If you don't know, it's here. Just like DC said, there's not going to be a bubble. I think we're just going to have a mass consolidation of AI, and there's going to be like a lot of big companies that do a lot of things. But I'm right there with you, man. This is just a matter of time. It's unfortunate. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. People get mad when we say this kind of stuff, but it's the truth.
Yes,
And
sir.
don't let your anger blind you from the truth of reality. Just like DC said, AI is going to affect every single part of the entire of life of civilization. You don't even have to work in tech to use it to your benefit, and don't get left behind. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't get left behind, because I agree with you, man. I think that's a great prediction. That's a incredible call. Like, I think we're speed running towards that.
Because if
To
people don't remember,
so
I'm gonna show my age. People don't remember these were the talks when the internet first started.
yeah,
These were the same talks we were having when the internet first started.
agree. Yeah,
Internet's going to take
100%.
jobs. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. The growth of the internet is going to be bad for humanity, which we got a good argument about that.
Yeah, you can kind of make an argument for that.
We can kind of make an argument for that. But every time we get these technological advances, it's always the same conversation of, if it's good or bad. And it's just basically, it depends on the person. And like, we live in a capitalistic country,
Yeah.
so there's always going to be somebody looking to take advantage of the situation to the point where, they're going to be saving money or they're going to be doing this and that. And that's unfortunate, but I want to look on the bright side of it.
Yeah.
and see, because they do, there really is a lot of cool things you can do with AI, man. And I'm not just talking about stupid meme pictures and deep fakes and bullshit like that. Like, there's a lot of stuff as far as like even in medicine and in the medicine field and
Healthcare,
stuff that
yeah.
they're doing to,
Hmm.
help people with illnesses. And hopefully Big Pharma don't get on that and fuck
Like
it
we've
up.
talked
But
about before, there's a difference between generative AI and agentic AI. I encourage people to
mhm,
Google that. There are agentic AI is what I think is more in line with what people would see in like your favorite sci-fi movie or that type of thing. But I'm not really down. I'm not down with generative AI because a lot of that shit's just thievery. You're just stealing images, and the AI is just mushing stuff together at that point. But yeah,
mhm.
it's definitely going to be interesting to see. I mean, I'm all for it if it reduces development times and costs, and we get better games out of it. I'm all for that, and people keep their jobs, of course. People keep their jobs. That's the most important thing. So yeah, I think that's a great call, man. AI is not going
Good place
anywhere. It's
though.
it's definitely going to be something that's
Boy,
going to
people
be talked
want
about.
that bubble to bust so bad.
It's not,
Like
man.
I read an article every other day talking about, oh, the AI bubble, it's gonna bust, and they're gonna get over it, and blah blah blah. I'm like, hey, yo, my boy,
That's not
stop
happening.
selling them pipe dreams, bro.
Yeah,
That's not happening.
it's not happening.
Okay.
You're gonna have like a few very very large companies that control most of that. So yeah, and if you guys are curious about AI, check out Claude. In my opinion, it's the best one out. I'm going to actually be paying for Claude Code because you can literally build a website and not know how to code. You don't have to know anything about programming, and you can be a programmer. So it's not a joke. No
Yeah,
exaggeration,
I
no
was looking at it
hyperbole.
when you sent it to me, and not gonna lie.
It's fucking
Yeah, I
insane.
got questions. I got questions because I was lost.
Yeah,
I didn't even know what the hell I was looking at.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll talk about that later, and maybe we'll bring it to the pod, or we'll put it in the tech section in
I'm down for it. Yeah, we can
our
do that.
Discord. We'll put some news in the tech section in our Discord, which we encourage you guys to visit the tech section and any other section and kind of add your two pieces of beautiful work. We know Weenie is one of our, shout out to Weenie, man. He's one of our good contributors in the Discord. He always got some cool stuff he's posting, whether it's his cool gaming setup or just everyday life stuff. We encourage you guys to go over there and just be a part of the community, which is dope, man. We invite all. Just don't be ignorant, dumb, stupid. None of that.
Ah, man, you get blocked. You don't even have to say
Yeah,
that.
you'll get
Yeah,
blocked
we
swiftly. Okay,
zero fucking tolerance, man. We're all adults.
zero
So
tolerance for that. So yeah, but great episode, man. Awesome episode. It feels so good to be back. Those 2 weeks was like a good time to reflect and chill and just get your mind right. I'm on a health journey. I'm a little more laser focused. And let's be real, beginning of the year always start off like this. But my thing is I want to maintain that flow. I want to keep it
that's
going,
that's
man.
exactly what I was gonna say, man. I'm so
I
glad you
want to
said
keep it
that.
going, man. It feels so good. I've been cutting my internet consumption in half, specifically social media. I might post a little bit here, but it's not as consistent as it was last year. I'm kind of cutting that in half and using that time to focus more on succeeding.
Yeah,
There's things that I want to succeed in that I felt like I felt short on last year. And that being my health, one of them majorly was my health. Shout out to my boy Keith, man. I'm trying to get him right. His doctor said he has to lose a certain amount of weight before May. And he hit me up and I was like, look, man, any way I can help you, any advice I can give you, I'm here for you, bro. I've been doing my Batman sessions, as I like to call them. I be in the gym and it's dark. They like to turn off the lights. It's kind of freaky, but yeah, man, I don't want to talk your ear off, man. I'll let you close this thing out, brother.
nah, man. I mean, I couldn't have said it better than myself, man. It's good to be here. Me and DC have some pretty large goals, not just personal goals, but for the pod this year. And we have some hopefully fun surprises in store. As we move through the year, and just try to be consistent, man. Like he said, you don't, untrain yourself from hustle culture, man. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm telling myself it's okay to take a day in between studying. It's okay to play games and just kind of relax my brain. That's something that I've been doing. I think spending less time on social media is helping with that because you don't have so much.
Find other things. Yeah.
You don't have so much information overload, and it's kind of helping me slow down my brain, honestly.
And you refocus.
Mm-hmm. So
sometimes you have so much focus on so much that's going on that you're not focusing on what you need to focus on.
Yeah. So
there's a lot going on in the US that's cooking our brains. So
it's good to kind of step back and breathe. So that's what we're going to be doing, man. That's the theme of the year, man. Just step back and breathe, but be consistent, So thank you guys for hanging out, man, for episode 255 of the Super Podcast. I know we were about to hit some ads here in a second, so I won't talk your ear off. Thank you guys. We're happy to be back, back like we never left. You guys can find me everywhere. Darius the Artist. 3 is an E. E is a 3. Sorry, I said it backwards. DC, take us home.
I'm going to take us home real quick before those ads drop. And I just want to say Happy New Year to everybody. Let's not only create goals for this year, no matter how big, no matter how small.
Yes.
Create them and stick with them step by step. Make a goal and just step by step, you just work on it, chip away at it.
Yep.
And you'll feel so accomplished once you do. Try some small goals first, and then maybe a little bit bigger goals, then life goals. Like, where do you see yourself in a couple of years? Just try to get that in your mental, try to think about that and write stuff down, put it on a board. Like it helps to visually just see when you accomplish something. And these are some of the things that I'm bringing into this year that I was doing last year with some tweaks and improvements, man. It's about improvements, and whatever you want to be or do in life, if you want to step it up to a manager at your job or whatever, man, just get some goals, lock the fuck in and go for it. And before we go, we have to do a little overhaul. We just found out that we have not been updating the Apple.
Oh, God, man. None of our podcasts have been uploaded to the podcast sites. Great.
Since like 20 episodes ago, because
it's actually
one site that we use supposed to upload it to all the sites, and it hasn't been doing it. So we got to fix that.
We are so sorry about that, guys. We've been here the entire time. I promise we didn't quit. So
we've been on YouTube, but we haven't been on Apple, what is it, Google Play
or Spotify
and Spotify. We got to update all of that because people think that we gave up, and we're never fucking giving up.
Nope. We've been here, man. So thank you guys for hanging out. That's going to be the end of the audio version. If you guys are in chat, hang around. We're going to play some video games, and we will see you next week.
Peace. Peace.